Adamancipator is easily one of the most slept on meta decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! And I can kinda understand. I mean, you may not have been rocking with this deck before, but you better start rocking with it now. What's going on with your big dog? And it is an amazing Saturday. Never thought that we would be talking on a Saturday like this, but no matter. Today I'm going to be showing you an insane Adamancipator deck profile. I have been playtesting this strategy on stream over Twitch, and I gotta say, this strategy is bananas. It's a lot better than what people give it credit. I genuinely think that this is a tier 1 strategy. It can hang with the big dogs and still be able to beat the living daylights out of the other decks. So of course today I'm going to be showing you a deck profile on Adamancipator, and tomorrow my buddy George is actually going to be showing you how powerful Adamancipator is. So with all that out of the way, let's jump on in so I can show you a powerful Adamancipator deck profile. So the Adamancipator strategy is built off of excavating rock monsters. The deeper you dig into your deck, the bigger possibility of you being able to summon monsters to your side of the field and make some huge plays. There's also two other announcements I want to make, and the first is, if you like the Dama Mama mat, I know she's sexy, you gotta cop it before it's too late. We have Dama Mama mats on infinitygamingtcg.com. Of course, I will leave all of the links down below in the comment section as well as the description. Another thing is, as soon as my 2021 Mega 10 case pops up, we are going to be streaming on Twitch, so go ahead and check me out there if you want to kick it with your boy. So starting off with the deck profile, we run 3 copies of Adamancipator Analyzer, 3 copies of Adamancipator Researcher, and 3 copies of Adamancipator Seeker. This is extremely standard for an Adamancipator deck, and you max out on every single one of these cards because not only are they amazing at being able to get your combos started by excavating free rock monsters to your side of the field, they're also amazing going second, since Analyzer allows you to special summon itself when your opponent controls a monster, and these 2 monsters can be special summoned by controlling a rock or Adamancipator monster respectively. They're essentially all free special summons, meaning that your normal summons can be dedicated to either stopping your opponent from stopping you or continuing on to play Yu-Gi-Oh! You can really punish your opponent because it puts them in a really weird spot where if they have to use cards like Ash Blossom, Effect Veiler, and Infinite Impermanence, you kind of go plus because there was never a guarantee that you get your monsters to your side of the field, and if you play the correct extenders, you can keep playing Yu-Gi-Oh! So the other Adamancipator monster that we play, it's an honorary Adam, it's Adamancipator Crystal Dragite. This card is extremely good because it shuffles in one of your best synchros back into your deck, but more importantly, it allows you to help stack your deck, draw cards, and do so much more. This card's just amazing. And then the card to special summon it is Adamancipator Signs, which can special summon any of your Adamancipator monsters from the graveyard and then place a rock monster to the top of your deck, meaning that you can get free excavations with all of your Adams, or you can get a free draw with Crystal Dragite. Now, the cool thing about this is that I wanted to run multiple copies of this, and I'll show you a little bit in the future. This is actually all credit to George, and we'll talk about it. But that is it for the Adamancipator engine. Very, very small. Now, the rock engine may throw you off guard, as I play 3 copies of Meiru Guardian, 3 copies of Meiru Supplier, and 3 copies of Prank-Kids Rocksies, with 1 copy of Prank-Kids Dropsies. Now, one thing you are going to notice if you are an Adamancipator enthusiast is that I do not, and I mean I do not run Doki Doki. Doki Doki is essential, or was essential, for Adamancipator strategies back in the day, as it allowed them to tutor monsters to their side of the field, but nowadays Doki Doki pretty much reads discard 1 card from your hand, end your turn. This card is weak to Ash Blossom, Infinite Impermanence, Effect Veiler, and while a lot of your cards are, you're not necessarily going to go -1 for summoning any of your monsters to your side of the field like your Adams and activating their effects. Furthermore, the only way to make Doki Doki live is to be able to special summon another Adamancipator monster, which means that it's only good as if you have Doki Doki Researcher, and that's not always possible. Now, we are running a lower count of rock monsters in our deck, and that's actually okay. Hitting important rock monsters over additional rock monsters that don't necessarily do anything is definitely preferred. I also want to say the MVP is 100% the Prank-Kids engine. This card is bananas. Now, you can go full Prank-Kids engine and run 1 copy of Fansies and 1 copy of Lampsies, as well as a Prank-Kids Pandemonium. I decided against it because it just brings bricks into the deck and requires extra deck space. That's something you could do. But those are our rock excavation targets and the Prank-Kids Dropsies. Lastly is 1 copy of Plaguespreader Zombie. This is the best card to summon with your Crystal Huckle Fabrics, as it allows you to set rock monsters to the top of your deck to proc your Adamancipator monsters effects, and of course can summon itself to the side of the field as an extender. The other extender is Ready Fusion and Instant Fusion. I swear I'm playing this card in almost every single deck that pops. This is completely a godsend in this deck, as if your Adamancipator monsters do get negated, you can follow up with these as extensions to keep playing. They also allow you to get into your rank 4 and synchros. So next, we are playing quite the bit of hand traps in this deck. 2 copies of Ash, 2 copies of Ghost Belle, 2 copies of Effect Veiler, 2 copies of Nibiru, and 2 copies of Infinite Impermanence. What I've noticed about this deck is that it doesn't need to necessarily end your opponent's board, or I don't need to respond to a board, but if I can prevent you from making your board, oh man, that's perfect. Also, Nibiru is searchable throughout this deck through your Gallant Granite, and I run 2, 2, and 2 is because I run 2 copies of Crossout Designator. This is a deck that you do, like, sometimes you can play through disruptions and stuff, and then sometimes you don't want to, and that's why Crossout Designator is and that's why we play this particular hand trap lineup. If I didn't play Crossout Designator, I actually would drop Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring and just play triple Imperm and triple Effect Veiler. I think that Ash Blossom is not a great Yu-Gi-Oh card right now, but Imperm is the ultimate, or probably even 3 Imperm, 3 Nibiru. But one thing I want to say about Infinite Impermanence is that it is pretty much the answer to almost every single top tier deck in the Yu-Gi-Oh card game. You'll find that out on my meta counter tier list. And Nibiru is secretly underrated. A lot of people just play into your Nibiru. I followed up with 2 copies of Triple Tactics Talent and 1 Call by the Grave. This is a lot of disruption and playing around disruption for the Adam deck, allowing me to freely flow and disrupt my opponent while also preventing myself from being disrupted. So moving forward, that is 42 cards for our extra deck. Again, I have to thank my man George B, because he actually got me on the Ready Fusion thing. At first I was just playing Mystical Sand to go on 8s, but he actually told me to play Pawson Rare, which is Rare Fish. And the reason why is because this card is a water monster, and I don't like playing cards that don't provide multiple purposes. Rare Fish is amazing because after, not only can you extend with it, if it's in the graveyard with your Crystal Dragite, you can obviously activate this card's effect. And this card is amazing for being able to stop some of the top cards like Metriona's Drytron to be able to ritual summon, being able to stop Tri-Brigade Revolt, being able to stop Truche from destroying cards on the field. This card is just amazing, and getting to this card sometimes is really important. Next is 1 copy of Borreload Savage Dragon and 1 copy of Adamancipator Risen Raptite. I wanted to run the Fire Adamancipator Synchro Monster, but I didn't have room. So for the Exceeds, 1 copy of Gallant Granite, 1 copy of Abyss Dweller, and this is all George's idea, 1 copy of Bahamut Shark and Toadally Awesome. So really easy to get a water monster on your side of the field with Rare Fish, and it's fairly easy to get into your other water monster, which just so happens, oh, not Prank-Kids Dropsies, which just so happens to be your Adamancipator monster and Adamancipator Crystal Dragite. So it actually comes up quite a bit to make a Bahamut Shark Toadally Awesome, and then use the Bahamut Shark for link material into an Appaloosa Bow of the Goddess. But these are pretty much two flex spots. You can drop them for whatever you please. You can drop them for Formula Synchron and the rank 10 or the level 10 Synchro Monster. You can drop them for additional disruptions, whatever you please. For the links, 1 copy of Appaloosa, 1 copy of Access Code Talker. This card actually does come up a little bit more, but you don't need it. 1 copy of Nightmare Unicorn, 1 copy of Hulk, 1 copy of Prank-Kids Doodle Doodle Doo, and of course the 1 copy of Meow Meow Mew. But enough of my rambling. I'm actually going to show you a few test hands with this deck. Hopefully we get a good hand, because I kind of just dry shuffled into this deck. All right, so our first hand was I definitely went back and pile shuffled this deck because this was sorted before we went into our hand. So hopefully I'll be able to show you a really good hand with Adamancipators. This deck typically ends on a 3 negate Appaloosa, sometimes 4. It can go to 4, as well as a Borreload Savage Dragon or your Adamancipator level 8 Synchro Monster if you wish. And normally you have a pretty decent sized cards in your hand traps and whatnot to be able to protect yourself. So that is the basis, as we're going to open Seeker, Crossout Designator, Supplier, Instant Fusion, and Ready Fusion. This is going to be a potential fairly good hand, as we ask Crossout Designator to prevent ourselves from pretty much being hand trapped. Our Adamancipator Seeker can almost go as long as it hits a rock monster. So this time around, it's going to hit Meiru Guardian at the last opportunity. I'm going to go ahead and special summon Meiru Guardian to my side of the field, and then I'm gonna go ahead and activate Ready Fusion. I'm gonna go ahead and pay 1,000 life points. My main goal right here is to summon Pawson Rare to my side of the field. I'm thinking about what exactly I can do, because I can synchro into the Hoclifibrix. I think that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna synchro with, or link summon with both our Seeker and our Rare into the Hoclifibrix, and as Chain Link 2, we're gonna use the Meiru Supplier to chain block, preventing it from being Ash Blossom. Not only, you know, we have the Crossout and the Guardian, so we can play through quite the few disrupts with this particular hand. And with that, we will special summon Plaguespreader, and then we will also add another Meiru Guardian. Here's the Guardian. So I'm gonna go ahead and synchro summon easily into Raptite right here. And I hope that it's enough for us to get into what we need, as right now we definitely have the Appaloosa on our side of the field, but it can be so much more. I'll synchro with both of these monsters into that Raptite, and then use Raptite's effect to excavate 5. We're gonna get Dropsies, goes Belle, there's the Rocksies, Supplier, and Infinite Impermanence. Of course, I'm gonna go ahead and special summon that Rocksies to my side of the field, and then I'm gonna go ahead and link off my Rocksies into that Prank-Kids Meow Meow Mew using the effect of Rocksies. We don't need the Meiru Guardian. Oh, this is a tough one, because Instant Fusion can also be very usable, but Meiru Guardian, yeah, I don't think we need the Guardian. We're gonna banish the Guardian, draw a hand trap. Oh, draw Adamancipator Researcher. That is going to make things a little more interesting, as now we'll be able to special summon Prank-Kids Dropsies to our side of the field, and then we will synchro with both Meow Meow Mew and our Prank-Kids Dropsies. We already have the Raptite on the field, back into our Doodle Doodle Doo, triggering the effect of our Dropsies to be able to special summon Rocksies back to our side of the field. As you can see here, we 100% have some very interesting combos. I think the only thing that will put icing on the cake is that if I can excavate Dragite Researcher, that would be dope. But I think worst case scenario, we're gonna end on that Borreload, and also we're gonna end on, yeah, we're gonna end on Borreload. That's gonna be the best possible scenario with an Appaloosa Bow of the Goddess. So yeah, that Bahamut Shark wouldn't be able to be used for a link, which is unfortunate. I would feel fairly safe in this combo sequence to just make a 4-negate Appaloosa with Hulk, Prank-Kids Doodle Doodle Doo, Rocksies, and Meiru Guardian. I would literally feel that way, but since that loses to imperm pretty hard, I'm gonna go ahead and link with these monsters into a 3-negate Appaloosa, spread the wealth a little bit, and then special summon Adamancipator Researcher to my side of the field. I'm gonna go ahead and use Researcher's effect. We are going to need to hit, I don't really think it matters. If we hit something, we hit something. If we don't, we don't. We're gonna hit Meiru Supplier. I did use Supplier's effect this turn, but we'll still special summon it to our side of the field. This is starting to get very ridiculous. We've used Seeker. Wow. We don't have a water monster to hit. If we had a water monster, we could go deeper, but this is getting insane. I don't normally like to go really hard on my opening turn, and most of the time there's no good reason. So I think we're gonna wrap it up by synchroing with both Raptite and the Researcher into our Borreload Savage Dragon in defense. Using the effect of Savage Dragon, we'll equip the Doodle Doodle Doo, and then we'll use our Supplier and our Guardian into an Abyss Dweller. This is one of the very few decks that can, if I banished a Crossout Designator, I actually could have kept the Guardian and made a Dweller 2200 attack. But this is one of the very few decks that can make a combo and almost not be hand trapped because of how the way the deck plays. As you can see, I opened Crossout Designator, I summoned Guardian to my side of the field, I made an Appaloosa all the way through, so it was incredibly hard for my opponent to use any hand trap on my deck. I'm going to be able to pretty much make my combo when I open the correct hands, no matter what, which is something that not a lot of decks can guarantee. Well, that's all that I have for today. Well, kind of. Again, you can catch me on Twitch today. I will be opening another case of the 2021 Megatens, and then we might be able to do some other things. Who knows? I mean, it's just kicking it with your boy, TheCali. But of course, if you want to just check out some more videos, go ahead and click on these, as I'll catch you on the next one.